Well, hello everyone, and thank you all for being here this evening. We are so excited to present this webinar on the City of Milpitas Microenterprise Program, also known as MEEP. My name is Michael Thomas, and I am the city's Economic Development Specialist. So again, thank you for being here and taking time out of your evening to learn about the program. Here's a brief rundown of what to expect this evening. The agenda includes introductions, program overview, and program eligibility, required documents and the unique entity identifier, also known as UEI, the application process and review process, as well as the lottery and award processes. And then finally, questions. Please feel free to type your questions in the chat, and we will be answering the questions at the end of this evening's presentation. Also, a recording of this webinar will be available on the City of Milpitas' website as well. And now for some introductions. I am joined this evening by my colleague, Michelle Silva, who is a housing administrative analyst. And I'm also joined this evening by Jonathan Feller, who is a program manager with our partner Forward Platform. Jonathan, please introduce yourself and explain a little bit about Forward and what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Feller. As Michael said, I'm a program manager here at Forward. And now, what is Forward? And so we've partnered with the city to help administer the program. So we develop the application, review all the documents and information that you upload, and help administer funds at the end. Also, we're responsible for any technical support, and that contact information is right at the top of the application and also on the program's website as well. So you have any questions while you're going through the application process, feel free to reach out. Now back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Jonathan. I would like to now give some background on the program. The Milpitas Microenterprise Assistance Program, known as MEEP, is a collaborative effort between the City of Milpitas and Forward to provide economic assistance to microenterprises within Milpitas. A microenterprise is any business that has 5 or fewer employees, including the owner. Approved microenterprises will receive $2,000. Funding for this program is through the federal government's Community Development Block Grant, also known as CDBG. MEEP strives to alleviate economic challenges faced by microenterprises in Milpitas, offering them much needed assistance to navigate through these difficult times. It is anticipated that the program may receive a large volume of applications, and if more than 30 eligible applications are received, a lottery will be held to select the 25 micro businesses that will each receive a $2,000 grant award. You may have received these flyers that you see on screen now via email from the Office of Economic Development in recent weeks. This webinar is being recorded and will be available for viewing at both the program and city websites. Some key dates to keep in mind for the program begins with the application window opening on Tuesday, January 16th, and will remain open until Friday, February 16th. So we have a full month to apply. The potential public lottery would be scheduled Friday, March 1st, and the event will be live streamed and recorded. We will then communicate the remaining dates with the selected eligible applicants, but there you have the dates and milestones for your quick reference on screen. So now let's talk about eligibility. Who can apply? So now for that rundown, first and foremost, your business must operate within Milpitas. You can live outside of Milpitas, but your business needs to operate within our lovely municipality. And you can find out if your business is located in Milpitas by clicking on the Milpitas city limits link. That'll bring up a map of Milpitas, and an image of that map is shown on screen right now. And you'll be able to click on a parcel and determine if you're in Milpitas. So a quick and easy way to do that. And that link is also provided on the program website and in the promotional flyers that you received previously. Next, your business must be a for-profit organization and cannot be one of the business types listed on the next slide. These business types will be listed on all program materials. Your business must also have a business license in good standing with the city of Milpitas. Next, all businesses selected to receive a grant award must have their unique entity identifier, or UEI, by March 31st, 2024 to receive funding. We will go into more detail on the UEI later in the presentation. And remember, your business can employ up to 5 employees, including the business owner. And finally, the business owner must be at or below 80% of the area median income for Santa Clara County. And that information will also be covered shortly. And now we'll be going into some more detail. So on screen, you see examples and lists of the ineligible business types. And this information is also available on the program website and will be in the application. So examples of ineligible business types, one you see there is a passive business. And a passive business examples include rental property, like folks who own rental property. They earn income just through renting out residential units, parking spaces, or people just making stock market investments or loaning money. So those are some examples of passive businesses. So again, these business types will be on the on program materials. So moving forward on the next slide, there is an example of what a current active Milpitas business license looks like. So any business applying for a MEEP grant should have one of these. And so now you've heard the term microenterprise a lot so far. So what does that mean? So microenterprise is defined by the Department of Housing and Urban Development as a commercial enterprise that has 5 or fewer employees, one or more of whom owns the enterprise. Again, the microenterprise can have 5 employees, including the business owner. So if your business employs 3 people, you are eligible. However, you are not eligible if you employ 5 employees in addition to yourself, because that would result into six total employees. Now, moving on to area median income, or AMI. The area median income is a measurement tool used by HUD to calculate household incomes by county across the country. Milpitas is in Santa Clara County, which is what we will use to verify household income. Again, to qualify, business owners must be at or below 80% of AMI, and we will use tax documents to verify your income. And as you can see on screen, there's a summary table that equates household size to 80% of AMI. So you see the household size and the corresponding income amounts there for a quick reference, but that information is also provided on the program website. So if you are a 4-person household, your combined income must be no more than $137,100 to qualify, for instance. Now, I'd like to hand things off to Jonathan, who will explain the required documents, UEI, as well as details of the application process. Jonathan.
Thanks, Michael. So yeah, now we're going to go over some of the required documents and information that we are going to collect through the application form process. First and foremost, we're going to need to make sure you are who you say you are. And so we're going to need a government-issued ID to verify the business owner identity. Preferably, that would be a driver's license. However, we understand that that might not be available. And so these are some of the additional forms of identification that we will accept. Next, we will need a copy of your business license for the city of Milpitas. And then we will also need a W-9. And this is, again, to verify you are you say you are as a form of fraud check. And the W-9 will be available on the website, or you can look it up at the IRS website as well. Then we're going to need some handy-dandy acronyms for you. That first one is the NAICS code, which stands for the North American excuse me, industry codification system. And now what that does is it's a system for the federal government that groups like businesses together. So if you're in agriculture, sugar beets, avocados, that kind of stuff, or you're in crude oil and energy production, or you run a bookstore, they all have their various NAICS codes, and that will be available on the application as well. And please use your most recent NAICS code. We'll also need your UEI. And again, this is for businesses selected to receive an award. And it's not required at the point of application. However, you will need it by March 31st. Then we're going to need either your employer identification number or your social security number. Lastly, we're going to need some tax documents. First, we're going to need to know your business tax classification. This is going to be available via drop down in the application. Then again, to verify your AMI, we're going to need either your business tax return from the previous year, which is 2022, or if you don't file for your business, we're going to need your personal tax return. Lastly, we're going to need your prior month's payroll documentation, and this is what we're going to use to verify the number of employees. You're now looking at a video of the UEI application process. And again, this video in its entirety is available on the program website. Now, what is a UEI? UEI stands for Unique Entity Identifier, and it replaces the DUNS number. And this is what the government uses to help identify both public and private businesses that apply for government programs. However, there are two types of UEIs. And for the purposes of this grant, you only need to apply for your number. You do not need to apply to work with the federal government. And again, the deadline for receiving your UEI for selected businesses is March 31st. If you do not receive your UEI by then, you will be deemed ineligible and cannot receive funding. So we recommend applying as soon as possible. You are now seeing a video walkthrough of the application process. Again, this will be available on the website. So first time logins, you'll need to create a business account, enter your info, and then you will receive an email from Forward. Please note that this email may end up in spam, so we don't want that. Next, you'll receive walk through the password process. If you forget the password at any time, you can go log in and click on Forget Password, which will then resend you a link. Again, for first time, you're going to put in your basic business owner information, and then you'll be able to apply. First, you will walk through the various eligibility questions. Again, you will see a list of ineligible businesses, as well as places to put the number of employees and verify your income and household size. And you can save and come back to the application at any time before you submit. Then we will be collecting business owner information. And again, you do not need to live in Milpitas. Only your business needs to be located in Milpitas, which is what we check in this next section. So here you'll put your primary business address, business name, and of course you can add of DBAs. And then this is where you're going to enter your NAICS code, your EIN or social security number, and our system does not allow you to add more characters than in each number, so don't worry about that. Select the tax classification type, and also enter your UEI. And again, we have instructions on how to apply as well. Here is where you're going to enter your required documents. So once you go through and upload everything, hit save, and you'll move on to the next section. So the additional questions are for reporting purposes. Please note that they do not impact your eligibility for the grant. Next, we have some final attestations. And to close things out, we have a signature. Please put the name that you entered in your business owner information and not a nickname. And once you're done and hit submit, you'll receive this lovely pop-up and a notification from Forward. Now I'm going to go over the application checklist that our staff will be using to verify the eligibility of all the applications. Again, first and foremost, we're going to make sure all the documents that you uploaded were uploaded correctly and didn't have any issues. We're going to make sure that the names and info provided in those documentation matches what you put in the application as well. This includes verifying that the EIN or Social Security matches what's in the W-9, and we also check with the IRS. Next, we're going to use that GIS link that Michael mentioned earlier to make sure that your business operates in Milpitas. We're also going to check with the city that lovely business license is indeed in good standing. And again, we're going to verify that you have 5 or fewer employees, including the business owner. And last but not least, we're going to close out by verifying the income. And now at any point, Forward staff may reach out to you for clarification on either information submitted or documents. Please respond in up to 10 days. If you do not respond in that time frame, that may negatively affect your application. So please try to respond as soon as you can. So that is it from me. I'm going to hand it back to Michael. Oop, still on mute there.
Gosh, if I had
There
a
we go.
dollar for every time.
It's okay.
But I know I'm not the only one. Anyway, thank you, Jonathan. So let's talk about the lottery information as you see on the screen. So as I mentioned, I'll explain about the lottery process. The city of Milpitas believes that a public lottery is the most equitable way to select from the pool of eligible applicants. The live virtual public lottery would be scheduled for March 1st if we receive more than 30 eligible applications. Similar to the 2022 Small Business Assistance Program that some of you may be familiar with, we will use a web-based random number generator to select grantees. Otherwise, we will award grants to the first 25 eligible applicants, with the remaining 5 as reserves in case there are any issues with the other 25 businesses. Moving on to the next slide, once selected, Forward staff will work with the business owners to confirm their unique entity identifier numbers. Again, the deadline for receiving your UEI number is March 31st. Your business will be considered ineligible if you do not have your UEI by the March 31st deadline. After your UEI number is confirmed, your business will then be considered approved. You will then receive an email from Forward containing instructions on the next steps. First, you will be directed to your Forward profile that will have the award agreement. The agreement contains eligible uses of funds and other clarifying information. You will then be prompted to submit your business's banking information, including your account and routing numbers. Please note that your information cannot be viewed neither by Forward nor City of Milpitas staff. This is an entirely secure process. Once Forward has received your final information, they will make a single payment via Automatic Clearinghouse, or ACH. And that concludes the presentation. And just as a quick reminder there on screen, you see the web address for the landing page. And we could also drop it in the chat too. And then you also see the link for the application link as well. But we have time for questions, and I did see some questions appear in the chat, and we can go through them. But before I do, are there any other comments from you, Jonathan?
No, that's it for me, Michael. Looking forward to going through and seeing what kind of questions we have.
Okay, well, we will look at the chat here. I see two questions, and the first one that comes in is someone asked, is this program similar to the 2022 Small Business Assistance Grant Program? That's a good question. There are similarities and there are some differences between that program. That program was funded by ARPA dollars, American Rescue Plan Act dollars, to the tune of $1.5 million. And grants were given to businesses up to $5,000 each. This program is funded by the federal government's Community Development Block Grant Program, and these grants are $2,000 grants. So different funding source and different grant amounts. Also, with the Small Business Assistance Grant Program, those grants were for businesses that had 1 to 25 employees. This is specifically for microenterprises with 1 to 5 employees, inclusive of the business owner. So those are some of the differences between this program. Like that program, you must operate in Milpitas. The Small Business Assistance Program stipulated you had to have a physical storefront location, but in Milpitas, home-based businesses are eligible, including small and large home-based daycare centers, for example. So there's some differences there. Okay, the next question is, sorry, the chat keeps moving. If my income is not from my micro enterprise, should this be considered an AMI calculation? I think I'll defer to Michelle on that one.
Yeah, I can take that. So to be eligible for the program, we will need to verify owner AMI. And so that number needs to be at or below 80%. So we will not be collecting income documentation for each of your employees. That just puts both parties in an uncomfortable situation. So I encourage you to submit just the owner income documentation and whatever tax information you have.
So it's from all income sources. So even if you're not getting any income from your micro enterprise, but you still have income coming from somewhere else or somewhere in your household, that is why it's household size.
All right. That was question 2. Question 3, what if the business owner falls into AMI individually, but if joint income with partner removes that category? Maybe.
Yeah. So again, it is by household size. And so if, the business owner, let's say, it's a 2-person household, if the business owner is only making $15,000, but the other person in the household is, making $140,000, again, it's the combined household income.
Next question is, how about part-time employees? Are they considered half an employee? So how are part-time employees counted? Basically, that's how I'm interpreting the question. And I would assume a half part-time employee is considered 1 employee or a half an employee. So for the purposes of MEEP, a part-time employee is considered 1 employee. Okay. Someone asked, can you help with getting a UEI? I tried this morning, but was not sure which kind I was supposed to select. Very good question. There is a demo video on the program website. It's a YouTube video. It's about 10 minutes long, and it walks you through how to create an account at sam.gov and then apply for UEI number. Now, the key thing to note here is that you just need to apply for the UEI number to be eligible for grant funds, not to do business with the federal government. Because you're not doing business with the federal government, you're just receiving grant funds. So that that UEI process is shorter. So just And again, the YouTube video, I can drop that link in the chat as well as a reference. Let's see. What if you have contractors but not employees? How are contractors considered? Are contractors considered employees as well? Okay, Jonathan nodding yes. Okay, so contractors are considered employees. And next question is, what if the employer is not on the payroll? Still, he or she be considered as part of the employee count?
I mean, we need to include the business owner. So even if you're not on payroll, you own the business, you're still in there.
Okay. And then someone asked about getting a link for today's webinar recording, and
Yeah,
it'll be available, of
well,
course,
we're
on
going
the
to send out
website.
everything. Yep.
Okay. I think I stepped on your toes there a moment ago, Jonathan. I think you were
Oh, no, you're
completing
good.
you were completing a thought, and
No, it's all good. Yeah. So again, even if you're not generating income from the micro enterprise or you're not on payroll, if you're the business owner, you're included in everything. And so again, it's up to 5, including the business owner or business owners. So if there's 2 business owners, we're still going to need info for both of those. There's places in the application to input another business owner. But yeah, everything up to 5. So again, if you employ 4 people, that's fine because that's 5 including the owner. But if you employ 5 people, it doesn't count because that would be 6 including the business owner.
okay. And then I am going to drop the YouTube video link in the chat. I think I see another question. If I am the business owner and have no other employees, how would submitting payroll information work?
You would just look at your taxes on that one again. So if you're the sole, right, you're a business of 1, and so we would be verifying off of that.
Here we go. And I'm dropping the website link into the chat. And I'll add the I'll pull that UEI video link. Do I see any other
It does
questions?
say that the video is unavailable,
Ah,
so
okay, we'll have to update that
we'll
link.
update that.
I did see that come across in the chat. Good catch, Michelle. So we'll have to update that link. And thank you for letting us know, audience.
Hang on, and there's another question. Given that some may have already submitted their 2023 taxes, do we submit 2023 or 2022? I think we would need your most recent tax returns. So if you filed for 2023, good on you for being ahead of the game. Yeah, please upload those, and then our outreach person will just verify everything with you. But yeah, if you have 2023, that's fine. If not, 2022 is what we'll need.
All right. I do not see any more questions in the chat. Any other closing remarks, comments, or thoughts? Other than I'd like to thank everyone who participated on this webinar. We know we're taking time out of your evenings that you can have with your family, and we know you're busy business owners and you put your life and everything into your business, and we're asking you to carve out a little slice of your free time this evening to be with us. So we appreciate that, and we encourage you to apply for grant consideration, and we wish you the best of luck and success with this program and your businesses.
Yeah, and as a final reminder, application window is going to be open starting next Tuesday, January 16th, and closes Friday, February 16th. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Likewise.